folks from Prospect Studios here doing a little cooking video, making breakfast. I'm going to use a skillet and Foreman grill. I start off with the bacon, and that gives me the oil surface on this griddle. Even though it's a non-stick surface, quote unquote, I don't like them. I like to use bacon grease. It's the old-fashioned way, and you should too. I mean, it just makes sense. A lot of people frown on bacon and the grease and all that, and I think we're too overly concerned with our health. We need to focus on more important things. You're going to die, you're going to die. I eat bacon. So, we're going to cook the bacon. We're going to grill up a nice steak. We're going to make some potatoes. We've got some onion here prepared, ready. And we're going to make eggs. This is the all-American breakfast right here. Steak and eggs. That's what you need. So, got our bacon going. I've got some garlic here with a little oil that I mixed in to make it nice and sticky, because I'm going to slather this chuck steak with this garlic. This chuck steak's a great buy, very economical. This was only $3, $3.50. I don't buy meat unless it's on sale. It's overpriced to begin with. Refuse to purchase anything until the price drops. Beef ages. The more fat it has, the less well it ages, but it doesn't matter. Aged beef is good. This isn't aged, but it was marked down. So, bacon, steak, potatoes, onions, eggs, garlic. I've got my onion over here. I'm going to feed that to the pig a little bit. Also got to go out and feed the horses yet. So let's get our steak slathered up. Garlic on there. Spread it around with this beautiful spreader. This little basting tool kind of helps. You want to be careful not to cross-contaminate things. So we dip the garlic out of the bowl with the spoon. We spread it on the meat with the spreader. Spread it around there real nice. Cover that fat real good. A little more garlic. Garlic is very good for you. It's very good for your immune system. And it's great, cheap seasoning. Garlic is underrated and underappreciated these days, I think. It's very, very important. Very important nutrients in there. Speaking of which, brings me to a good point. If you are seeking knowledge of any kind, we've got two wonderful publications from Kevin Trudeau. New York Times bestseller, Natural Cures, What They Don't Want You to Know. This one, previously censored brand name products that cure diseases. So both books very valuable. And, you know, yeah, they cost a little bit of money, but education costs money and time. You got to be willing to invest in yourself. Kevin Trudeau right here. Very good effort from Mr. Trudeau. Hats off to Mr. Trudeau. Put that back over here in my little mini library. In a little bit, we're going to feature a poem from a wonderful poet, writer, friend of mine, Yvonne, Glasgow, from Grand Rapids, Michigan. No longer fighting with myself. I've got one picked out that I think you might like. We'll get to that. And I've also got a wonderful woman here, Sylvia Brown. Truth about psychics. Lots of good information in here. Very good book. Another New York Times bestseller. Put that right back over here with my book stand. Let's go flip our bacon over. Rinse our spreader off here. Dawn dish detergent. I recommend Dawn dish detergent. It's a very powerful detergent. Very good product. what helped save all those animals when they had that Gulf oil spill. Cuts grease real well. You grab a fork. You want to be careful. Turn this heat up a little bit. You want to be careful with your so-called non-stick surfaces. They don't like metal touching them. So you want to be very gingerly when you're cooking with things that have a Teflon coating, especially. Teflon coatings can be hazardous to your health. So all I care about is the grease, really. And bacon just makes everything taste good. I don't have my drip pan under here. There we go. Get my little drip pan under there, catch that grease, and I'll put that in the dog food later. Give the dog a special treat. Speaking of which, where's Socks at? Socks! Socks! There you are! Come and see me! Come here. Socks is a pet project of mine. I'm reintroducing him to civilization. Come here, buddy. Come on. Come here. Come here. Good boy. Good boy. Come on. Come here. Come on. Socks hasn't had much human contact. Come here. Come on. You can't overdose an animal when you're trying to condition them. It's little by little. I'm just getting him used to the idea that he's being cared for, and I'm conditioning him to respond appropriately. Today is his first day inside the house, I believe. He's been kept outside in a cage, and he's got to have a certain amount of interaction as a pet. He's not being raised for food, like some people do. So we got our bacon cooking up nicely. Got some grease on there going real good, so I'm going to slide some of this bacon off to the side and let it finish cooking. Now that I've got my lubrication applied to this surface, I'm going to go ahead and put my potatoes on there. Put the bacon away now. That's going to go back in the fridge in a moment. So I'm going to take an onion. Scatter a little onion on the surface here first. Just like that. I'm going to take my potatoes, put them on there, just like that. I grated these a few minutes ago. They're starting to rust a little bit. Potatoes do that. Just because they turn a little brown doesn't mean they're bad. A lot of people these days are fickle. They don't understand what food is because we've been putting preservatives and coloration on stuff for so long to make it pretty on the shelf that everybody's become sissified and fickle. And that's a big problem, especially when you're trying to raise children and develop any kind of sense of understanding of what respect is. You have to respect the resources that the earth provides, and that means not being wasteful. Every little bit counts. Some farmer put his blood, sweat, and tears into growing these potatoes. And it's our responsibility to appreciate that, especially because they cost us money. In order to get the money to buy the potatoes, it takes time away from raising our family and developing our children, nurturing our own lives, and taking care of our own property and our homes, which we are more and more being robbed of our time to be able to afford ourselves to do that. That's an issue. It's destroying communities. So, I got this pink Himalayan salt, sea salt. Put some of that on my potatoes, just like that. A little more onion. Just like that. Just enough is plenty, really. Just like that. Now, I'm going to flip my bacon over one more time. And then we're going to put a lid on, covering the potatoes. And what that does is that helps concentrate the heat so that they can cook. Now, if you don't have one of these electric griddles, you should get one. They're very, very handy, especially if you have a tassel of children, family members that you need to cook for. It's kind of important. This is a very handy tool. A lot bigger than a skillet. It's pretty economical. They're cheap. You can get one for 20 bucks. So, let me get a cover. Probably in here.
Underneath.
I guess this one will work. Wipe it off for dust real quick. Kitchen tools accumulate dust when they're sitting around the kitchen. Not sure I like the basket that hangs from the ceiling with the pots and the pans. It's a beautiful thing to look at, but it's kind of a cleaning issue all the time. Household dust is a major problem. It causes a lot of lung cancer. People don't understand household dust is hazardous, especially if you use chemicals. Chemicals are on the dust floats in the air, and we all breathe it in. Which takes me to a very important point. Your heating system needs to be periodically cleaned. The filters need to be changed. The ductwork needs to be vacuumed out periodically. And all that dust needs to be removed from there because you're throwing it into the air and you're taking that into your lungs. Take it from somebody who has lungs full of dirt. My chambers have closed off and made new ones because of the trades that I grew up working in. I was conditioned and raised to do production work, feeding mass amounts of materials and saws and stuff and breathing, literally eating that dirt. And it's amazing how your body responds. My body responded by repairing itself. So while I'm here, I'm going to do everything I can to share what I know to benefit, first of all, my children that I've not afforded the time to be able to spend with. And then everybody else follows suit. This is for everybody. I'm taking time to do this for everyone. Some of it may be redundant. A lot of people know this stuff, but a lot of people don't, and that's why I'm doing it. So, with that, I'll get a plate right here. I'm going to line it with a paper towel to absorb my grease. I'm going to start pulling some of this bacon off of here. This piece. This piece. Some people like it crispy, some people like it chewy. I like it every way I can get it. It's bacon. There we go. I got one more in there. Get this one out of here. Drip all that grease out there. I'll put that on there like that. It may be undercooked, but I don't care. I like it a little soft and chewy. Let's see how we did it. Piece for the cameraman. There we go. Love bacon. So now, we're going to take our steak and we're going to put it on the old George Foreman grill. Just like that. And then we're going to take some onions. And we're going to put the onions on there. Now these grills are a lot like a barbecue grill. You don't necessarily have to clean them all the time. This one gets used a lot, gets cleaned a lot. But some of that stuff is beneficial. The oil coating on there, the residual herbs and spices from the last time you used it. It's all part of the science of it. So, the other thing is salt. You gotta know when to put salt on. Salt extracts moisture, and if you put it on too much, too fast, it'll dry the meat out. You don't want to dry the meat out. Nobody wants to eat a shoe unless they have to. We'll rinse our cutting board off. Put that in the sink to wash. The other thing about cooking is you always want to have a sink full of dishwater. The dishwater is so you can wash your hands. You're handling chicken, handling poultry, fish, meat, blood. You handle it like this trash here I'm handling. It's got blood on it. Put it in the trash can. Then I come over here and I wash my cutting surface off, which also washes my hands. So now, the cutting surface is washed, rinsed. And I put it right in the dishwasher for the rest of the clean dishes, because it's stupid to have a colander on the sink when you've got a colander right here. I don't necessarily use the dishwasher all the time, unless I want to make sure something is sterile. But I also add a little bleach. A quarter cup of bleach is plenty of bleach. Put it in the dishwater, you're good to go. Now, let's get our potatoes checked. See how we're doing here with our potatoes. Not doing good. My power reset. That being the case, I'm just going to redistribute the power to another circuit. Got some major electrical problems in this house. I've been remedying them one problem at a time. So now, while our grill heats back up to do its thing, we'll put our onion in the bowl. Now, put it right there for now. Take it away. Have a little sip of coffee. Future Farmers in America Agricultural Education. Support it. Okay, now, we're good to go there. Let's see what Yvonne Glasgow has written here. Got a piece here that I think is appropriate. If I didn't care. When you say it, are you aware how it really sounds when you utter those words, if I didn't care? It's like saying, I don't mean to be rude. Come on, dude. You're just butting into someone else's life, doing what you can to add to their strife. If you cared, you'd actually already know. You'd have paid attention to what's going on. Your caring wouldn't come so slow. Your caring would be known. You wouldn't have to say it out loud. It would actually be seen. I'm not trying to be mean, but your if I didn't care will get you nowhere. Yvonne Glasgow. Because I care. Thanks, Yvonne. Wonderful book. I'm glad I bought it. It was worth every penny of the $15 I paid for it. If I had more money, I would have paid you double. Yvonne Glasgow, Grand Rapids, Michigan. Glasgow Publishing. She's on Twitter. So am I. All over it like a bad rash. So, food for thought. I'll get that light on. Technically, technical difficulty. That's alright, nothing we can't handle with a big knife. So, some of you may have been watching this morning on Twitter. I've been networking, promoting, carrying out some pretty serious efforts that I think are pretty important. One of those things that I've cited to bring to people's attention is a little program brought to you by the Public Broadcasting Service that featured period-style living situations where they took people from modern-day times and offered them an opportunity to go back in time, in essence, and live a lifestyle that built our nation. Particular program featured this morning was 1800s house about the pioneers who went across the land and were employed by our system, in this manner of speaking, to go out and tame the land and start developing towns and cities and making the country grow. Those people worked hard. Those people made sacrifices, very serious sacrifices. When you look back, I lost my glasses this morning, so I got to use my sweethearts. When you look back in time and look at some of the photos featured in like the book about side houses. As soon as they invented the camera, some guy went across the country, I can't remember his name offhand, some guy went across the country and cataloged all the side houses. Sod houses contributed to the Great Dust Bowl, cutting up the sod and making houses. People weren't taught about that. Just one of the example of how important it is to cohabitate on the planet with nature. That's one of the reasons why I want to start my own conservation club. I would like to link up with the Isaac Walton's League, which I was a member of in the Grand Rapids area, Rockford. Donated a lot of my time and services to that place with a good friend of mine, Mr. Bruce Gilmore. I would like to start my own branch of that Isaac Walton League and work with families and children and help educate them on the things that they are passionate about. I don't want to waste my time working with people that don't care. I really only need one real follower, somebody with a lot of power and money to help me put some of these ideas into action and make a difference. I'm not on Twitter for vanity. I'm not writing my book and my stories and saving them up and waiting for a publisher to put them on a shelf for me. I'm sharing them now so that I can help people immediately. A certain amount of humility in that. I really don't care about anything except for doing what I feel like is important, and whatever labels come along with that, that's all happenstance, and it's unimportant. People need to roll their sleeves up and do something instead of complaining and waiting for someone else to step in and take responsibility. Life is a vessel. You can climb into a ship and you can get on the bow and you can watch the sunset and you can watch the dolphins and you can nonchalantly float about and drift and run into reefs and then deal with the repercussions of the damages caused to that ship. Or you can climb up into the stern, into the helm, and take control of that vessel and navigate it towards destiny. No matter what position you're in on that vessel, you need to recognize you're a member of the crew. And as a member of the crew, it's your responsibility to give all that you have and do all that you can to ensure that that vessel is maintained and can travel safely and arrive at the port of desire. Very important. A lot of people, everybody wants to be the captain. Everybody wants to say what's right, what's wrong, and criticize and say what should be and what shouldn't be. But the fact of the matter is, nobody wants to be the captain when the boat is sinking. Nobody. Not even the captain. But because he's the captain, he's forced to. He has no choice. It's the code of ethics. An unwritten code written upon a man's heart and soul. An unwritten code that shouldn't have to be instructed to them, shouldn't have to be dictated to them. It should be a self-employed thing. And the sooner we all can get on the same page, the sooner we can eliminate some of these things that we are disappointed with. But everybody's in church on Sunday, criticizing the rest of the community, which is all fine and dandy. Everybody needs a little criticism. But it's one of those things, just like telling somebody you care. You shouldn't have to tell them you care. It should be easily recognized. And I'm not going to try and win your affections or favor by telling you I'm a Christian or whatever else. I don't label myself like that, but I do know I'm a believer. And that's what's important. Okay, steak's done. Right. Words are cheap. Any crook can tell you they love you. Any crook. Cameraman. Get that in there, ready to wash. How many eggs you want? Okay. Eggs are great for you. The edible, incredible egg. I like mine over hard. I always bust the yolks up. I'll wait to do yours. See, even though it's a non-stick pan, you see how everything sticks to it? Just part of the deal. I think those potatoes are probably done. I like them a little crispier, a little more golden brown. But this is good enough. Doesn't have to be perfect, it's just food. Get in there. It'll all digest and go to the same place with the same outcome. Two outcomes. Energy and taxes. Okay, bacon, steak, potatoes, eggs. Wash the lid up. So hopefully somebody finds some value. Some of these things I'm sharing. You don't have to like me. None of us have to like each other. It'd be nice. But you don't have to like someone in order to appreciate what they can do what they can offer. Not on this planet to be friends with everybody. It's not why I was put here. I was an accidental birth. And punished for that, being born for the majority, if not entire, duration of my existence. So, I'm sure that contributes to the majority of my particular disposition. But, I'm not going to quit fighting for what I believe in. Ever. And you shouldn't either. Hopefully it's something good. With that, I think that's enough for today. This is Zachary Pope from Prospect Studios. Bandana Bro on Twitter. The New Blue Society for people who know on Facebook. My namesake on Facebook. Mad Pachyderm on Facebook. Music libraries all over the internet. The Bandana Brothers, Prospect Studio. Ambient Blues. Live at the VFW Memorial Day. On the internet radio stations all around the world. And CD Baby put a list of music together on YouTube. And of course you can visit my Reverb Nation page. There's a link to my label on my profile on Twitter, Bandana Bro. Peace, love, and never stop caring. Come see us. Mike Bonson's